speaker. Her name is Rebecca Michelle, and Rebecca has left her successful career at Wall Street to travel the world and to discover her purpose, which is being a meditation coach and a mindfulness mentor. She works remotely and helps individuals to connect to a deeper part of themselves. And today she will talk about a journey within, discovering yourself through meditation. Let's welcome Rebecca on stage.
Hey everyone, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for being here. I'm really excited to talk to you about meditation. But in reality, it's not about meditation. This is about discovering yourself. So I'm really happy that you're here. So my intention over the next 30 minutes is to tell you about my personal experience with meditation. And I also want to inspire you to try meditation if you haven't given it a shot, or if you tried and gave up, to give it another shot. So why don't we just take a moment to ground, and I'm going to ask you to just make yourself comfortable. So maybe you'll make some movements in your body. Really feel the weight of your body come down to the earth. Yes, exactly. Great. Maybe just even some gentle neck rotations. Yep, just loosen up a little bit. And I want you to bring your hands into position like so, and just place your hands on your lap. And gently close the eyes. And I want you to take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, sigh. Another deep breath in through the nose, fill up the belly. Exhale, sigh. Last one, deep breath in through the nose, fill up the belly, hold at the top. And exhale, slowly, gently, letting all the air out of the body. And just taking a moment to check in, noticing how you're feeling. And I want you to gently open your eyes. Okay, welcome to the present moment. Very nice. Great job, everyone. So, are there any meditators here? Is anyone practicing meditation? Yes. Did anyone give it a try and then give up? Okay, that's okay. All right. So, my name is Rebecca. I used to live in New Jersey, last working in New York City on Wall Street. And I traveled for 3 years basically to discover my purpose and find out what I was meant to do on this planet. Because in my old life, that was definitely not it, and I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute. So what I absolutely love to do is help people relax and create spaces for others to relax into themselves and to connect to a deeper part of themselves, filled with intuitive wisdom, connecting to your intuitive guidance system, which is always your compass in life. So if you feel lost, it's worth it to pause for a moment and just breathe and connect to that deeper part of yourself. And also the power of the pause allows you to gain mental clarity. So I absolutely love what I do. It wasn't always like that, but I'm going to tell you more about that in a minute. So some fun facts about me. During my time of traveling, I discovered that I absolutely love being on sailing yachts, and I work on sailing yachts every summer in Croatia. And I've also sailed in Italy and Greece, and this is something that I absolutely love. I've been doing this now for the last 8 years. I also run an entrepreneur women's group in Zagreb. Are there any entrepreneurs here? Yeah, okay. Are you guys in any entrepreneur groups? Oh, you guys need to get into an entrepreneur group, because you just need to be around around people who are doing the same thing as you. Otherwise, it could be exhausting and draining. So this group is totally motivating and energizing. So highly recommend that. And I'm the type of person that will have a croissant and coffee in the morning. So once upon a time, working in New York City, I did not like my job. I was working in the insurance industry, and I showed up every day to work, really questioning why I was there. I didn't feel like I belonged. I was reading complex insurance contracts, talking about risk, and it really it was draining my soul. And at some point, I was like, I need to make a change, because I was suffering. And I was just not fulfilled in what I was doing. And it felt really important for me to discover what my purpose was. Also at that time, I was traveling a lot, and traveling really opened up my mind to different experiences and also to different lifestyles. I'm from the States, so we don't really travel for extended periods of time, or maybe now that is more of a trend. But I started this journey maybe 10 years ago, and it was specifically a trip I took to Croatia on a sailing holiday, and I came across people that were traveling for 1 month, 3 months, 8 months, a year, and I was like, what is this? I need to do this. So I was traveling a lot and I absolutely loved it. And also I was obsessed with yoga. And through yoga I discovered meditation. And there was something really, there was like some intuitive pull towards meditation that I needed to explore and understand better. And I really felt like it was going to help me understand myself and connect me to my purpose. So I left it all behind. I cashed out my savings, which I don't recommend anyone to do. And I said I'm going to travel, I'm going to explore myself, and I wanted to meditate and discover different career opportunities. So when I first tried meditation, I was very confused. I just didn't get it. Is anyone confused about meditation? Yeah? Okay, that was me when I first started, and that's totally normal. And I went to YouTube to get like some information on how to practice, and I was chanting mantras and counting mala beads, and it just didn't make sense to me. It was more confusing than it was like giving me these results or like peaceful feeling that I was looking for. Also, I was meditating with my eyes open and staring at a candle, and I was just there like everything was getting blurry. I was like, I just don't get this. So those were some of my earlier experiences with meditation. I felt like I was doing it wrong. This is something I hear constantly when I'm working with people, and it just didn't make sense, and I was really looking for a practice that resonated with me. It wasn't until I went to my meditation program that we meditated with our eyes closed. So really, I got very in touch with what was happening on the inside, and it was overwhelming. I felt like I was crazy. There were a million thoughts coming in, and I just was overwhelmed by this experience, totally not prepared for it. And for any beginner, this is generally a common experience that you will have, but through the meditation practice and mindfulness practices, this experience begins to soften and it settles eventually. You know, if we're constantly going and moving, mental stimulation, when we come to a place of stillness and silence, this internal activity still may be spinning and turning. And it just, when we come to stillness, it takes a moment to stop and unwind and slow down. So please don't give up and know that that is absolutely normal to happen. Now, some of my misconceptions with meditation before I even started was I thought I was going to have this like mystical experience and some spiritual beings were going to tell me the secrets of the universe and it was just going to give me all the answers. And this could happen in a meditation practice, but it didn't happen for me. So that was something like I was kind of expecting. And also, I thought all my problems were going to go away and I would become this perfect human being. I just thought for some reason, oh, I'm going to meditate and I'm going to be perfect. And no, I'm still a messy human being. I still make mistakes, but now I'm just much more aware of those mistakes and how to manage them when they happen. Also, too, meditation is a practice of heightening awareness. And now I make better choices that allow for less problems to happen in my life. So now I'm consciously making decisions to keep problems at bay. And when problems do occur, because let's be real, it's going to happen, I manage problems much differently than I did before. So it's really given me tools to open up myself to these challenges and difficulties so I can understand how to manage them. Okay. Another thing I thought was going to happen, I thought I would be happy or blissed out all the time. And I remember sitting in my meditation practice like, why am I so sad and crying? What are these emotions? Feeling all these different things. And it's not like that. Another thing I want to say is too, just like 10 months ago, I lost my dog, Ben, that's Ben. And I was grieving for like 2 months. It was really a challenging period. And if you have this perception of like, oh, I'm going to meditate, I'm supposed to be happy all the time, you're totally going to miss an opportunity to connect with yourself and understand yourself through these different emotional experiences that you have. So meditation has really given me the permission to feel all of my emotions, whether it's sadness, anxiety, anger, jealousy, joy. Really, it just creates a space for you to feel what is happening right now. Because with anything in your meditation practice and even in life, maybe there's some things you notice coming up in your meditation, and you're like, no, I don't want to look at that or see it. But if you're resisting anything in meditation and really in life, this is what resistance looks like, okay? Meditation is a practice of non-resistance. So once we let this wall down, the emotion, the anger, the grieving can move through us instead of getting stuck within us. So this is something I want you to be mindful of. And I'm not saying it's easy to come in contact with these different emotional experiences, but when we accept and practice non-resistance, it can move through us much more quickly. So that's something I wanted to share. Also, too, this one drives me crazy. So, a lot of people think that they're not supposed to have thoughts in meditation. And this is probably the one I come across the most, and it just, I'm like, yes, an opportunity to educate someone on what meditation is. Meditation is the practice of becoming aware of your thoughts.
Yes.
Thank you.
Finally.
Yes. Okay, so I want to give an example here of, let's pretend this is you and this is your mind. Right now, maybe you're totally identified with your mind, right? And whatever you're thinking, by the way, we have over 70,000 thoughts in a day. If you're totally identified with your mind, you're going to be going all over the place. You're going to have mental exhaustion. You're going to be tired. Meditation is the act of separating yourself from your mind and your thoughts so you could observe them and notice what's happening. Notice that you're thinking, oh, I'm thinking about this thing, and my inner critic is coming out and tearing me down. Oh, I'm thinking about this thing, and wow, I did such a great job, I'm such a great human being. When we begin to see how we are thinking, we could separate from that process and observe it, and then make a conscious choice of actually how we want to think. We can empower our thinking. And this is what meditation does. Okay, so just know it's normal that you're supposed to have thoughts. Let's do a quick exercise. I want you to repeat after me. I am not my thoughts.
I am not my thoughts.
But I have thoughts.
But I have thoughts.
Does that sound weird or feel weird to anyone? Maybe a little bit? Yeah. When I first, so this dropped into my awareness in my meditation practice, and it really blew my mind away. I was like, oh my God, I'm not my thoughts? Oh, that's amazing. Because I have a wide range of thoughts, and it really helped me just take a different position from thinking and how thoughts actually work and how you can empower your thoughts to use them as a tool to help you on your personal growth and development journey. So, and this other last thing, I thought I would have to meditate for hours on a day and like give up all my belongings and just, have this really different life, but you don't have to meditate for hours on a day. Something else I hear, I don't have time for meditation. You have time. What we did in the beginning is a great mindfulness exercise just to breathe, to pause and breathe, get in touch with what's happening on the inside, do an internal check-in. And this is really just to ask yourself, how am I feeling? What am I thinking? And then with this awareness of what's happening on the inside, again, you can make a conscious choice of how to move forward next. Because we have a lot of automated thinking, habits, processes that we're not even thinking about, we're just doing and going. And then all of a sudden we end up in a place and we're like, how did I get here? I was in insurance for 10 years, and I was totally in this mindset of like just going and doing. And then it wasn't until I started observing, I'm like, I don't belong here, this is weird. I don't belong in insurance. There's one guy who loves insurance here, Joe, and like, I'm happy for him. Everyone else looked miserable, including myself, and I was just like, I have to get out of here. So, what is meditation? Okay, I don't want you to think of meditation as I have to clear my thoughts. I want you to think of meditation as a self-care moment. as a moment to take care of your mental health and well-being. There is a power in the pause, and I want you to think of it as meditation is really the act of paying attention to noticing what is happening. It's really as simple as this. But I know that there's so many things happening in your mind, lots of thoughts, maybe even difficult feelings or emotional energy like you're feeling in the body, and it could be hard to come in contact with those things. But meditation is the act of becoming aware of how you're thinking and also becoming aware of how you're feeling. It really is this simple. So, and there's lots of different mindfulness tools and techniques I use to help people come in contact with their mind and their thoughts so they can eventually go beyond it to something so much more meaningful, okay? All right, meditation basics. So here are the foundations of strong meditation practice. Awareness is key. To create any change in life, we have to be aware of what's happening right here and now. Meditation is also the act of filling yourself up with awareness and presence. So when you go out into the world, you see clearly, you're hearing clearly. It's just your perception is so much more sharp. And really, you get in tune with yourself and like, what is your intention in life? This is the thing that's going to keep you moving forward in life and giving you direction, and you want to be aware of that intention. Okay. Compassion. I love compassion, and I like to think of this as understanding mixed with kindness. When you're practicing meditation, you can observe a lot of not nice things about yourself. I had a big inner critic that would tear me down, and it was really hard for me to celebrate the small wins. It was like nothing I did was enough. And at some point, I was just observing and noticing this inner critic, and I was like, shut up, like, stop. And really, it was also this compassion that was coming in to say, okay, I hear this inner critic, but actually, Rebecca, you've come a long way. You know, you left your whole life behind to start something completely different. You're focused on finding your passion, and that was a long journey, I will tell you. But now I really feel in tune with myself and what I'm doing, and it feels absolutely amazing to be in touch with this part of myself. And it was through kindness in my meditation practice and in life that got me here. Acceptance. Again, so we talked about resistance, and when we resist something in life, it actually keeps it with us. So this is a practice of accepting what is and not resisting it. It doesn't mean it's true, it doesn't mean you agree, but it means you're accepting the present moment reality. You are accepting how you are right now in this moment. And ironically enough, that allows for transformation to come through, so you could grow into the next best version of yourself. But that comes with accepting yourself just the way you are right now. Okay, non-judgment. So again, just taking a pause instead of judging everything as good or bad, right or wrong. Just, we're actually observing our judgments when we're practicing meditation. And through that pure observation, discernment is going to come in. And I love the word discernment and even the practice of discernment, because this is the ability to judge well. What is meaningful for my life right now? What is the next step I can take that's going to mean something to me? Do I need to stop and slow down and rest? Am I ready for the next journey and adventure? So discernment is the ability to judge well. And when you pause and tap in and tune into what's happening on the inside, you will get guidance on how to move forward. Okay, curiosity and openness. I don't think I have to explain this one. I think it's quite obvious. But just keeping an open mind to your meditation experience and really to life. So you can just understand yourself through that openness and curiosity. Again, instead of being like, oh, I don't want to see that or experience that. Ooh, there's been many times in my meditation practice where I'm like, oh, am I really thinking that? But if you're identified with the thinking, you are going to think you are your thoughts, and you're not. So when you break away, you can observe and make a conscious choice. Okay. So meditation was the biggest tool for my personal growth and development journey. I really learned so many things about myself. Intuition. As soon as I got on that yacht, I was like, there was something that happened that I was like, oh, I think I'm going to work on a yacht. When I was living in New York City and working in New York City, I had no experience in yachting. And I was like, wow, that's really crazy. That doesn't make sense, but I feel like there's something here. So sometimes our logic, intuition oftentimes could be, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. But it's gonna be pulling you towards something, to take you towards something that does make sense for your life. So this is when trust comes in. And being able to trust yourself and those internal nudges and pulls that are going to take you to where you ultimately, which is ultimately going to be your most happy and fulfilled life. Imagination. I love imagination. It is a powerful tool for creation. Okay, it's important to be aware of how you are thinking and feeling on a regular basis, because this is what you are creating for your future. I will dare say that imagination is more real than physical reality. Everything always starts from the inside. Everything. If you're looking right now on the outside, that is a result of something inside of you that is now being reflected on the outside world. So if you see your mind always running to worrying and just kind of going down this dark hole, that's when you become aware of that. This is the practice. Come back to the present moment and ask yourself, okay, how could I see this in a way that's going to be meaningful for me? Even getting up on the stage, I was like thinking, oh, what if I fall down or if I throw up? And I was like, no, okay, come back to the present moment, see it in the best way possible. And this is the practice, okay? Realizations and insights. I just told you about one of the biggest realizations I had in meditation was that I was not my mind. You'll also get other insights and realizations that will change your life. Emotional resilience and intelligence. You are going to get in touch with your feelings. So if you feel out of touch, this is an excellent practice to allow yourself to experience the feelings. Someone once said, feeling is healing. And it's so true. So as you come in contact with these different emotional experiences and you allow yourself to feel, you will understand how to manage those emotional experiences and grow through that. Mental clarity, there's a lot of space in my mind. When I first started, very busy, overactive, my mind is very spacious now, and I feel present, I would say, for 90% of the time, because this isn't a practice of perfection, but of improvement. So, and to be undisturbed by your mind, that's a huge one. So how to start? If you're going to start a meditation practice, educate yourself. Why are you meditating? First, develop your intention for your meditation practice. Really, for me, it was all about discovering myself and discovering my purpose. What am I doing here on this planet? I know it wasn't insurance. Keep it simple. The more simple it is, the better. Try different meditation practices and stick with the one that works. How do you know if it's working? You feel better. That's going to be your sign. Start with mini mindful moments, just like the breathing practice we did in the beginning. It will take you 2 minutes. Start that before you do any activity. And this will really set your day up for success. And you can even do these a few times a day. It will not even take you 2 minutes, so I highly suggest it. Okay. My personal practice and what I teach today, what it looks like, we do a body scan to release tension in the body, because if you're like this, you cannot relax. Mind and body are connected, so we need to help the body relax so the mind can calm down too. Okay, this is another excellent tool to walk away with for today, or tip. Your mind and your breath are closely connected. If you could slow down the breath, you will slow down the thoughts in the mind. So slow breathing to slow and calm down the mind. Okay. Also, intention is important. Understand your why. What is your main intention in this next activity that you're going to do, or even in your life? Like, have some goals to focus on. And we bring intention into the meditation practice. And gratitude for abundance mindset, because again, if you're focusing on the things that you don't have in life or that you don't want, you're actually going to get more of those things. So gratitude is a mindset shift of, wow, look at all these beautiful things I'm surrounded by, look at this beautiful experience I'm having. It really makes a huge internal shift in your body. So, I would love to open the floor for questions, and if anyone wants to share some main takeaways or
First, you discuss. I can see you have very good knowledge when it comes to this this topic. So I want to say something by asking you a question, because many people think, oh, meditation, so what does it mean? Do I need to sit like a yogi? Do I need to do this position all the time? But you literally said the act of meditation is the act of paying attention to what is. So my question is, could it also be that you're just so focused when you're, for example, washing the dishes or chopping some vegetables? Could that be a form of meditation?
Yes. As long as you're paying attention to what you're doing, that's it. The other thing I want to mention is maybe you're washing the dishes, but you're thinking about going on holiday. And as long as you are aware you're doing one thing and thinking about something else, you're present.
I totally agree.
But I will say you could be more in tune with the moment by bringing your attention and energy to what you're doing right now in this moment.
So it's not so much like forcing yourself, oh, I need to focus on washing the dishes, I'm not supposed to think on my holidays. Like, it's more like you have it in the background, right? Like a radio it's kind of on, but it's in the background, you're aware of it, and you are kind of in peace with that, right?
Yes, that's exactly it. And also I want to add that, meditation is also a practice of training attention. Your attention is going to wander out 1,000,000 times in a day. This is just the reality.
It's human.
Yes. It still happens to me. Meditation is a practice of bringing it back to right here and now. What am I doing in this moment? Okay, I'm speaking on stage. Let me bring my energy right here so I can really reach out and connect to you guys.
Yeah. I love how we beautiful, beautiful. Okay, I can see already hands up. So we start with the man in the back, please.
Hi, thank you very much for the talk. It was lovely. So I'm working in a tech company, and for the most of my time I'm working from home, sometimes for the co-working space. And my day is consisting of meetings and Slacks and meet invites. And it's kind of stressful, a lot of distractions, trying to figure out how to find time when it's kind of a stressful environment or a busy day, a lot of work.
Yeah.
Kind of gets postponed.
Yeah, so this also becomes an intentional act, a conscious choice, to find little spaces in your day where you could, to just take a breath. Are there spaces in your day where you could take a pause? Like, could you really find that? Okay, I encourage you to just start with 1 minute. Because also too, in order for the mind to work well, to function well, it needs breaks from mental stimulation. This is so important. If your mind is working all day, thinking, running, you're going to need to burn out in one. It's going to be mentally exhausting. So I know it is really hard for us to pause and stop, but this is actually the thing that's going to keep you going and allow you to work a long day if necessary.
And I guess you need to go to the toilet at some point. What if you extended your toilet just for another minute, right? So it can be so simple. Another question there, yeah?
Hi, thank you. So I'm practicing meditation on and off, but sometimes I'm noticing that when I stop, I really cannot shut the mind up, or my brain feels really scattered and I keep drifting off or even daydreaming when I'm tired. In theory, I know like there are strategies of how to put myself back, but sometimes it really doesn't work. Do you have
First of all,
anything else?
I'm telling you, you're doing it right. Because you're aware of all the things that are happening. You're aware, oh, my attention is wandering out there. Oh, I'm aware I'm having 10 million thoughts. Your awareness is there, so it's already working. Now, this is the practice of training attention. What is the main focus in your meditation practice? For what I do is the breath is always the main anchor of awareness. If we could stay with the breath and slow it down, this is going to slow down all of that mental stimulation, and you're going to sink down into a deep state of relaxation. And all of that mental chatter will kind of fade into the background. But this is a practice. It took me a little bit of time, so you're doing it right. Keep going, and I could also give you some tips for your practice to help you.
Yeah, I would love some practical tips. Maybe I can share one that I read in a book that really somehow helped me. And it was like, focus on the breath, but focus on the way your breath feels at the end of your nose.
Yes.
Somehow this really helped me.
So the breath is always the main anchor of awareness, and we have secondary points of awareness that we could also place attention to hold it in another space. Because when you close your eyes, sometimes it's like, where the hell am I? I don't know. And it's like the breath is always the main anchor, and then we have these secondary points.
And I can give you one of my practices when the chatter is really loud. I literally do this. Wow, how loud you're already. I can see you. Like you're kind of, you get aware of that, right? And it's okay. It can be there. It doesn't need to go away. But I do not need to
Force it or make it go. You just let it be there and focus on something else, which is the breath. And it kind of fades to the background.
Yes. So you have your arm conference today?
Oh, yeah. Tomorrow we're meditating the part 8 to 9. A mini workshop and a guided meditation.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure if you show up tomorrow, Rebecca is happy to answer all of your questions, give you more tips, but now he deserves another round of applause. Okay, my dears, we have one more talk left. So if you go to the main stage, you will listen to